and horrifying news story. And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
go. What's up, man?
What's up, man?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
Another day in paradise, man. You know, just coming off a good weekend, and I'm gonna crank up my volume a little bit so I can hear you. But otherwise, coming off a good weekend.
It's always a good weekend for you down there in Florida in paradise.
That's fair. Most of the time, except when it rains.
Okay. All right.
Except when somebody, I wish I had one here so I could show you the simulation of it. Let's just pretend my phone's a beer bottle, or when somebody gets out on the dance floor and decides to do this right in front of you. That is a little frustrating. Yeah, you know.
Okay. All right. Look, it's been wild. Things are almost, within the next, I would say within the next month. Plans are to reopen everything here, at least in the Northeast.
That's good.
New York, Boston. I've been seeing posts about all the guys up in the New England area, Rhode Island on North and Boston, that they're going to be opening things up. I think it was May 29th is what one of my guys posted up on Facebook. Whereas Philly is June 11th. Everything is going to be full in the Philadelphia area. New York, I think around the same time. It's not the 11th. It's going to be the 15th.
Nice.
But it's already kind of that way. I mean, the wedding I did this weekend, they acted like coronavirus didn't exist.
Yeah.
Nobody had masks on. Everybody was lovey-dovey. They were all sloppy drunk over each other. Fun, great time. But it was, all bets were off.
That's always how it is here. So we're used to it.
So you're used to that, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, it's almost like the reverse of that. Like when people show up with masks on, everybody's like, "Oh my God, look at them over there with their masks." You know what I mean? Like, it's, I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I get it. Look, I still see the posts too, about what masks or no masks. As a matter of fact, I remember when this first began, and everybody was really corona paranoid, and we still had to, get out there and get some exercise. I took the wife out. I took the kid out before we even had the puppy, and we decided to take a little walk on one of the walking paths in the park near us. And most everybody was wearing a mask. Mm-hmm. And this one younger guy, and look, he was a little off in the head. I don't know. He literally started yelling at my wife and I for wearing a mask. Why are you making everybody wear a mask? I'm like, really giving us a problem. And I was like, for nuts like you, because I don't trust people like, my goodness gracious. And I didn't want to put up a big scene or anything in front of my kid or my wife, but she got a little bit freaked out by it. And I kind of just stepped forward and I was like, just move on, bro. Just, but throwing his 2 cents in, like, really, dude? Really?
I mean, that's kind of, I get that totally, man. Like, I'm down with whatever anybody wants to do. Long as they ain't harming my family, like, do whatever you want to do. You want to wear a mask, wear a mask. Right. You don't want to wear a mask, don't wear a mask. You want to get the shot, don't get the shot. Whatever.
Right. But don't tell me what to do. You don't want people telling you what to do, or your family, or stating things to your wife or your kid or whatever, right? I mean, it's none of their business. Go at, I still, it's, I'm the weirdo that wants to follow up with this guy and see if he came down with this and ended up in the hospital, if karma came and visited his ass. But regardless, I hope not. The angel.
Yeah, I mean,
I hope not.
I get it.
The devil says, fuck him. The angel says, oh no, hopefully he's okay and things are fine, Yeah. So
you're still allowed to say that on this show, by the way. I don't know if you knew that. But.
We are still allowed to say that. Yeah. I didn't, I wanted to be the first one to drop the F-bomb tonight. So, yeah. I mean, it's not. Yeah.
I love that, man.
It's all right. We're gonna be messing with that one for a while.
So, tell everybody why Gabe's not here.
Oh my God. Well, speaking of coronavirus,
we fired him. No, I'm just kidding.
No, he got sick, and we said, "Look, you're out of here, dude. We don't want to catch this through the airwaves." No, he's not sick at all. Don't let that get out.
Power Jams, what's up?
What's up, Power Jams? Gabe actually got a job with Johnson & Johnson. He was working in the research pharmaceutical industry. And when this all was actually happening, he was giving me a little, insider information here and there about certain things. And I was like, interesting. None of which happened. He was like, all the pharmaceutical companies are going to come together and they're going to share their info and it's going to come out really quick. I said, no, these are multi-million-dollar companies. They're not sharing it like that. Even if it's to save the human race, it's not going to happen.
Still about money.
Yeah, it's still about money. And the only thing we could have predicted was, yes, the Koreans, the Chinese, and the Russians are going to hack us to try and get that information, if you remember those stories back then. But story being is he needed this job because where he wasn't happy. And he's a cool dude. He's a free spirit, and the last thing he needs is to be stressed out. And this new job at Johnson & Johnson, it's local. I think it's Princeton. I think he's going to Princeton, New Jersey, or wherever the main headquarters are. But it's within the research. They've got all these grants. They got all this money. And according to him, he is much more happier doing what he does now. That said, he's also a full-time real estate agent too, working for Berkshire Hathaway. Yeah, he does that. Besides DJing and filling in for whatever in the entertainment industry, whether it's DJ, AV, audio visuals, like your lighting or running the boards, and band stuff. So he's got a fuller boat than you. And I thought I had a full boat.
I know, man. Every time I think mine's full, somebody else's is just as full.
You never know. You look around the corner and but yeah, that's he got his new job. So we miss him. We wish him well. Hopefully he's listening on his phone or chiming in, or is going to listen to the after show like he normally does. So we'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, how about now? Well, here's my question to you, and I'm always interested in Paradise, the Sunshine State, the land of oranges. Because it's so free. I used to call it the Runway to Heaven. Have you ever heard of it called the Runway to Heaven?
No, that's the first one for me.
Really? Because all of the snowbirds. How about all the snowbirds go down there?
Yeah, I've heard of that. Heard about that.
Everybody from the north, or north of the Mason-Dixon line, shall we say?
Yeah.
Wherever south of the border is located, there, the North Carolina, South Carolina border. They all come down and they go into Florida, and that's where the snowbirds are. But the Runway to Heaven is because it's the Panhandle. All the old people come down and they travel and they go down, and that's the Runway to Heaven. They go down there to die. They go down there to retire and have a good time and die. You're up north, so do you party or do anything at the villages down south?
No, I haven't. But I've heard about it. But yeah,
while we're on that topic, let me tell you, my mother, in her 80s, was dating this guy that lived in the villages. He says, "Oh, your son's a DJ. I have to take him down, to see my place." So he went down there and he says, "Okay, we're going to go out." So the center of town is like a town square. And what I mean by the town square, it's a road. And in the middle of that square is a gazebo. And on the left is a Panera Bread. On the right is your post office, a bar on one side and a restaurant on the other. But right in the center of that square, they close off all the streets. All the old people, young people, whatever, but mostly old people, come out with all their chairs. They put them all down. And there's a DJ that plays at the gazebo.
Oh, nice.
And that guy, it's almost like, all the wedding DJs I've seen wrapped up into one. He pulls everything out,
all the cheese,
all the cheese, all the line dances, from literally the hokey pokey and the alley cat that are 1,000 years old.
Yeah.
All the way up to the point where, I heard the Cupid Shuffle, and that was about it. I don't think the Wobble was out by then, but they play everything, a little bit of everything. And I was blown away because this guy had it timed out. And then he had even a couple games, and he blew me away. And I'm like, wow, next time I come here, I have to write some ideas down. But
take some notes.
Dude, they all came to party, and they all had their little coolers, and they snuck a beer, or they had their little mixed drinks. And the coolest thing about it is everybody down there has a golf cart that they drive around in, and they all come to these parties with those golf carts. Now, some of them literally look like a golf cart Mercedes Benz or a Land Rover or a Jeep, or it's all pimped up, bro. It blows me away to this day that when I go down there and I see what they're doing down there.
It's like GC Posse, what rise up. I get it, man.
Yeah. Here, another stupid fact that I found out back there. They said, "Oh, the Villages, huh?" I said, "Yeah." I said, my mom's got a boyfriend down there, and I remember this one guy telling me, he goes, places like that are STD hotbeds. I was like, "What did you just say?" I said, "That's the name of my last band."
Yeah, I heard of that before too, man.
But technically, look, hey, when I'm in my 60s, 70s, and 80s, and who knows? Hopefully I'm still married. But I get it. Look, you're a widower, you're a widow, you're divorced, whatever. You're down there, and you're when the people are out, you may play, I guess.
Living La Vida Loca with a cane in your hand. I get it.
Oh my God. So anyway,
is that what they really meant by village people? Jeff Rush dropping dimes. I love it.
Oh
dropping dimes, Jeff Rush.
So my question to you, did they ever officially close Florida down? Was it ever?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely was. I mean, there were times where we were not able to do events. You know what I mean? And well, I guess when you say close down, it depends on what you mean. Like, I look at it from the context of our industry. So if you look at it from the context of our industry, I mean, there was a good 3.5 months that we didn't do anything.
Banquet halls. You're talking banquet halls and
I mean,
correct.
Anywhere that a function could be held at, no function happening.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
Boston area in the Northeast classified it as dancing, especially at weddings. I mean, they came right out and said it. Whereas New York, no, they just totally different. It was just like, we're just closing down X number of capacity. I think 25, 50%. It was all about capacity. And Philly and the surrounding areas there, which usually copycats New York anyway, did the same thing. It was all about capacity. I did this wedding and I saw what was happening, and I could swear buffets were outlawed. They had a buffet right there. And and I asked a few people, I said, they still do buffet? No, they don't have buffets in Pennsylvania. So
the one I just did last night had one.
Yeah, but you're in Florida once again. You're in the Sunshine State, the land of milk and honey, or the opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I mean, so what week did you close down? No, I'm joking. What week? How long? I don't know. How long was the state closed down? Was it a couple months, really, or?
It really was, yeah. Because I remember, like I remember in the beginning. Man, it's funny to think back to this, but I remember it's not like it was that long ago, right? But a lot has happened in a short period of time when you really think about it. Okay, so. But when it first started, I remember like everybody trying to cram their events to get them done. Right. And then some people were like, "Oh, I don't know." And then they moved their event. Right. And then it was weird because the people that moved their event, like the first wave of moved events,
right?
Those people probably could have done their events. But what happened is they moved their events to where a time frame where it got worse. And then they had to move their event again.
Okay.
Whereas they could have just done it originally the first date and just stuck with that. And I feel like some of them probably kicked themselves in the ass for not doing that. You know what I mean? Because they could have just been like, whatever, we're going to go raw dog at it and whatever happens, happens. And like, we're just going to have the event. Right. And whatever,
You know what? That's like a twofold thing. Even though the people I bet that wanted to go through with it and are kicking themselves, one of the main reasons I found out, because we're May, June, September, and October. That's it.
Yeah,
you're a different story. You party everywhere. But one of the main reasons these brides were saying, "Oh, I would still have this anyway," but what she said was, half of my people aren't going to show.
Yeah,
I got it. That's when it hit to me like, Oh, I get it. Because these poor brides and grooms, were planning this, and believe me, my wife and I were talking the last time we went to Mexico. There was the SARS, everybody SARS this and SARS that. Which, if you look up COVID, guess what it is? Severe acute respiratory syndrome.
Right.
SARS. It's a form of that.
Right.
Who I think they call it, but whatever. We went down there. The place was empty, and we were able to party and drink and have a great time.
Don't, Jeff, don't even get me started talking about this, man. The show will go in a completely different direction.
Jeff, those people that wear a mask while they drive in their car, they are the reason that they put instructions on Pop-Tarts. Okay.
Most of those people are probably fully vaccinated already too. Right. I digress. Right. No, seriously though, we did get to a point where the same thing happened, where people were like, well, I'd like to have it, but half my guest list is supposed to be traveling, and they're, so like when this travel ban stuff started kicking in, then that's where, that's where those particular bundles of people. So it's funny, like you got like your early COVIDers, and then you got your mid COVIDers, and then you got your outlier COVIDers that were trying to do, you know what I'm saying, trying to do their events or not do their events, and reasons why. And those situations changed over time, because there are some people that still wanted to do their events. What's up, Andrew? There are some people that still wanted to do their events, but the venue was like, nah, sorry, you can only have like 20 people, including vendors, and I mean, think about it. Like if you've got a catering staff for 20 people, you might only have like, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 people. I don't know enough about catering to really say it, but let's just say 4 people. You're already down to 16. Right. DJ, now you're down to 15. Photographer, you know what I mean? Like all of a sudden it's like you can invite 10 guests, but wait a minute, you actually can only invite 8 guests because it's you and your husband too.
You got to be careful in how you do that, because up here, the people in New York and the people in Philly, right in the middle of coronavirus. We're talking, what was it, October 10th? That was the big Saturday, one of the big Saturdays we had last year.
Think so.
I had 4 parties. Out of those 4 parties, 3 of them went down, and I DJ'd one with my entire crew. We're talking full boat, DJ, video, photography, wedding officiant, and photo booth. All 5. Close friend, that had hired me up. What's up, Eric? So close friend that had hired me up, went out there and did the event, but same thing, acted like nothing was going on, and even the staff was walking around there. All their masks are underneath their chin. It once again, it blows me away. I mean, even when people were COVID scared, I don't know. I digress. I want to get to my next topic anyway. I'm done with this.
No, that's good, man. That's good. Let's just do a quick, I feel like I'm done Clubhouse now. I was going to say a quick reset of the room here, but that would be straight Clubhouse lingo. Basically just letting everybody know that Gabe is not able to be on the show with us tonight. So me and Greggy C are just kind of chopping it up about some different things related to the industry, current events, things like that. Thank you all for watching. If you have any questions, comments, things you might want us to help you with as you're getting back into your swing of things, and maybe you're, just have something you want to chat about, let us know. Drop a comment. We'll get it on the list.
Yeah, and I'm going to be chatting about a couple bits of news regarding the industry. I think Jeff will be interested in, and anybody that's hopefully attending the DJ Expo, which is one of the things I wanted to get on. But on the same thing you were saying, if they like this, like us on Facebook, like us on YouTube, subscribe, leave a comment, share this, please share this post with your friends, your family, share it on your page, but also make sure you subscribe if you haven't subscribed.
Share with your competitors too. That's okay.
Yeah. And you can catch us. And you can catch us on any of the podcast networks now. We're everywhere. Dave has pimped us out to all the podcast networks.
Yeah, great, man. I'll tell you what, though, my pimp fee is not really doing much for me. Even though I'm pimping the hell out of us, I'm not making a really good fee off of that. But that's okay. As long as we got some loyal people that watch and enjoy what we have to say, then we're good with that. I think Andrew asked if we had any guests tonight. Our guest tonight is going to be your comments, so keep them coming.
Right? Yeah. We have a few topics. One, we just wanted to talk about things opening up. I mean, that's literally the first part of our show, and the stuff is coming back, and it's coming back gangbusters. I mean, I'm busy like Dave was this whole season down in Florida, but I'm now busy. Each weekend, May and June, and even going into July now. A point I wanted to get to before I got distracted. One of the things I was waiting for it, and I said this is always going to be the sign, because when this happened, it was March 14th, if I'm not mistaken. They shut down my city, Philadelphia, and really it kind of toppled like dominoes all down the East Coast and the rest of the world. But it was right before St. Patrick's Day. Okay. And I know that because look, one of my bigger accounts that I had was working audio visual, the AV guy at Vesper Sporting Clubs down in Center City. And one hell of a job, dude, taking care of, I'm the visual guy. I get to play and mix videos, while the DJ gets yelled at by all the drunk, entitled bitches that are out there. Excuse me, excuse my friend, but they're out there. They got their bottles and they're pouring it down their girlfriend's chest. A long story. We'll get into that later. But this club is the opposite of social distancing, and what I mean by that is on a packed Saturday night, if you don't rub up against people on your way through to the dance floor, it's not a good night at this club. Right. So I said the minute this place reopens, things are going to happen. And sure enough, I got the call. They said, well, we're going to be opening up probably around I said, let me guess, right after June 11th. Hey, yeah, you guys. I said, I knew it. The minute the city says you're going to be legally open, then they are going to open, and it's going to continue. So, I mean, that's kind of, what I'm waiting for, because, we do our weddings and things like that. But in the nightclub industry and these bars, because that's the other thing, besides, doing the Vesper gig, I do it because I like doing it, and it keeps me fresh. Another thing I like doing that people think I'm nuts is the little trampoline parks. They're called Sky Zones.
Oh,
They keep me so fresh with the newest music. I mean, at my age, when I pull out these songs, people, well, where'd you hear this song? Where'd you do that? I'm the hippest DJ because I know all the music and the newest music, and I have it. So my Sky Zone keeps me balanced. My Vesper keeps me balanced, and then my weddings, keep me balanced. The Andrew knows I hook Andrew up, and he does a few of them as well. But it keeps you balanced. I
love that Sky Zone idea, man. That's pretty dope.
Yeah, no, look, and it's not. Look, they're everywhere. I mean, it's almost like back in the day we used to have a million bowling alleys, Now Rock and Bowl or this. I mean, they still have them, but most of them around my area have closed down, where the guy's in there pimping himself at $20 an hour. And let me get that and free beer and free food.
Give me all the pizza. Give me all the pizza and golf shoes. Bowling shoes, not golf shoes, dummy. Give me all the pizza and bowling shoes, and let me bring my big heavy balls in here, and I'll play for you for $15 an hour.
Right. And I got to bring my big heavy girlfriend and 5 of her friends to drink on your tab, right?
You got to give them a lane for the night, bro. Sorry.
Right. And
I need a double lane, by the way. It's got to be a double lane.
A double wide, right. And at least 2 kegs, because they drink a lot.
Yeah.
But
cheese pizza only, though. Cheese pizza only, please.
Right, cheese pizza only. But not just the bowl, but the bars too. I mean, we still have these bars, and I network with a lot of companies. Obviously, you do the same thing. And when the shit hits the fan, I know I'm getting the calls. Well, this must have been the biggest starting weekend this past weekend, because the shit hit the fan. And I got a lot of people, work this weekend, just for the sole fact of there are a bunch of brothers out there, them competing companies that they're out of luck. So what we do is we network with each other, and look, instead of making zero, everybody makes a couple bucks.
Right.
So, but these are all the signs that all of this is opening back up, especially here in the Northeast, which was the first to close. Whereas everybody down south in the Sunshine State and everybody out west, they could give they could give a crap what's going on.
Yeah.
Nah,
No, it took some of those people a while. That's for sure.
and I get it. Look, you live in a hot state where it's summer all the time. You know, I mean, it's hard. You know, and then people got to make a living, and if they don't close, well, if they didn't close my state, and I still needed to make a living, I'd be out there doing the same thing. I mean,
oh yeah. I mean, that's essentially what I was doing, man. I was like, there. I am going to work until I can't work no more.
well, look, I mean, God bless, God bless Ray. Ray was
Yeah.
out in Arizona, and he fell victim to this damn virus, and I still, it blows me away. And they said, well, you don't point. I am pointing fingers. I'm pointing fingers at the virus, because I would have been him if I lived out there and things were the same way. You're damn right I'd have been doing what he was doing. I would have been out there making people laugh, having a good time, because we love what we do. He loved what he did.
Yep.
So, I mean, and it's not just him. I could name another four or five DJs that got really, really sick. There's a guy in Philly that's just this advocate. He's an Eagles advocate. His name's Monty G. He got what's called COVID cheeks. You know what that is?
No.
The poor guy, it's like the cheeks right up here got all swollen and infected, and
wow,
and it's like there for life now. They're up
terrible.
They have what's called COVID lung, where they're going to have that problem like they always have asthma, where it's hard to take a deep breath. Dramatic just got over. He said he was having trouble breathing for a while now. Now, mind you, I mean, he was a heavy smoker. That's what made me paranoid. But it's this thing will really knock you for a loop. So
it's interesting though how I have bad allergies, for example, right?
Oh, I have them right now.
Yeah, and it's interesting how we have adapted to the way we are because of COVID. You're afraid to sneeze around people, you're afraid to cough around people because automatically you must have COVID. And it's like, oh, by the way, not sure if you guys realize this, but before COVID was a thing, coughing was a thing, sneezing was a thing, allergies until your eyeballs want to fall out of your fucking head was a thing before COVID. So let me deal with that because it happens every year, and leave me alone.
If you play, I'm coughing again. If you play this replay back, you're going to hear me cough at least 20 times because of the allergies out here. The pollen, I think I told you earlier in the green room, the pollen is so thick. My wife has a black car. You can literally take your finger and go down the hood, since it hasn't rained here in a while, and all that pollen will come up, and it's still on the tip of your finger. And it's on all over. I have a nice dark brown deck all over the deck. All over it. So, this is the allergy season, and I have what's called maturity allergies. I didn't have them when I was younger. Now I have them, and my whole face and head swells up. But I go out, and people are looking at me like, oh my God, and my wife thought that I was out in public, that she's like, will you stop chasing these people away? Like I would or do something like that. Or even with a mask on. And if people were too close, guess what? They parted like the Red Sea.
Yep.
Those people that would never give me space or were in line, all of a sudden I would cough, or I would, do a little sniffle or sneeze. She's, are you doing that on purpose? I said, no, I got allergies. So anyway,
it's funny when you were talking about it earlier and you said maturity allergies. I literally thought that was like being allergic to wanting to grow up. I really didn't realize. I really didn't realize it was something else.
I learned that, when you get older, you go to the doctors a little bit more. I mean, there are certain things I can pinpoint, and I'm sure the older guys can pinpoint certain things that happen to your body, to things, that, just like everybody, certain things happen. But one of them is, and I learned it's every 7 years, I learned that your body goes through a change. And within those 7 years, you can be allergic to pollen. You could be allergic to cats, be allergic to dogs. It's almost like a reset. When you said reset the room, it's like your body does like a little reset. You can gain weight. You can lose weight. There are so many different things, but it explains my stuffiness, my allergies, and especially my wife who's had allergies all her life, excuse me, and me not relating, now I can relate because when she gets it, I start to get it and I start to feel it. I'm like, wow, why are my eyes all watery? You know, it's not because I'm stoned to the gizzard. No, it's because all that pollen, you know, and I've wiped my fingers and I've touched my eyes, which you're not supposed to do anyway. And, or it's in the chest, it's in the nose. So, you know,
well, I'm coming up on my next 7-year turn next month. So hopefully if that lose weight thing is real, I'm going to really start lobbying for that one.
Well, hold on, not lose weight. You can lose weight, you can gain weight. Okay.
Yeah. Let's keep that gain word out of there.
Dude, I had a washboard stomach up into my probably mid 40s. All right.
Yeah.
Once the mid 40s happened, 45, 46, forget it. Now I got what the wife calls a spare tire. I'm like, are you kidding me? And so be it, you know, and I thought that was healthy going into COVID. I said, you know what, you get sick and you don't eat, your body's going to live off that fat.
That's right. That's why got to pack that mini keg. You never know.
I've known a lot of guys that had to go through chemotherapy with cancer and treatment. If they were overweight, they got less beaten the hell up by that chemo and the radiation than the skinnier guys, you know?
Interesting.
Very interesting. Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, Vince is one of my closest friends. I mean, he went through throat cancer. If you didn't know that, and he's a skinny guy. He probably weighs $160, you know, wet. you know what I mean? I mean, he's not even that, probably about $150. Light. He's a small, you know, light guy. And, you know, he did the shakes and gained that weight and was good with it. So enough of that. Enough of the coronavirus. Enough of the allergy.
What else we got to talk about tonight? Look at us. We're already 37 minutes into the show.
Yeah. And all because of the Rona.
That's it.
Dude, the DJ Expo 2021 is on.
Yeah.
It's on. I you know what? I pop a couple links here in the private chat. So you want to put them up. You can find out by just going to the main site that we'll put up here. But there's also a registration link that ends in registration.
The bee bada boo, there it is.
And with that said, with the registration, that's
the main one.
That's to find out all about the expo. And if you've never been there, this is in Atlantic City, New Jersey. 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. Yeah. 9th through the 12th in Atlantic City. And if you register at the registration right there.
There we go.
If you register at that link right there through djtimes.com, you have until June 14th. Okay, June 14th to get your free floor passes. All right. And look, they have this thing where they say, well, you have to upgrade to get into all the parties and all that. Yeah, kind of. Depends upon who you know. If you're down there and you want to get into certain parties, you know, meet up with myself or David if he's going to be there, and we'll get you into those parties. Or come stop by, you know, and see me, because I wanted to talk about some news about, look, there's a bunch of companies that are not going. There's a bunch of companies that are going. And then there are a few that are going to show up, you know, for the first time. Or it's rumored that, you know, some that haven't been there in like 4 or 5 years and had a booth might come back. So, and Techniques is one of them. But then they said that last year because of their new turntable, I think it was $2,000-$3,000 turntable, but they ended up leaving it at our booth, the PV booth.
Gotcha.
But yeah, Techniques is rumored to come back. I doubt it. I think what they'll do is they'll share space with another company, and it's not going to be PV, because one of the big bombs I'm going to drop on you is, you know, as a PV sponsored artist, and going there year after year with them, you know, spinning up on stage, having my students come and spin up on stage, or having a contest for local DJs, you know, to spin like I did the past couple of years. We just pick regular guys, regular folks that are coming to the expo. We give them a free full pass, and then they can spin, you know, for a couple days, to get an hour or two. But they told me this year that they will not be attending. And it kind of blew me away. So Jeff is another one that's in the mix with us. He's another one of the sponsored artists. And I think he got that same email, but yeah, I don't know. And if anything happens, maybe they'll come in last minute. Who knows? But yeah, it's a shame to say Peavy is out. Now, who I know is in, our buddy Gabe from Pro X. He's in. Okay. I mean, look, he's not going to miss that for the world.
Right.
And I bet he's going to have the same huge setup that he had last year. I think he had he had over 2 spaces. In other words, if one space is a small space, this guy had 2 spaces. He had about as big as a space as Pioneer DJ has.
Like a 20 by 20.
Oh yeah, we're talking. He had some room to put his stuff, and then he had almost like a showcase. He was showcasing his stuff, especially the pieces that you wanted. The stand up, but I call the monolith.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, look, you put your best foot forward. You put your nice, expensive stuff out there with the spotlights on there, and look what we have to offer. Give me cash, take it home now. Here's your deal.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's like there. But yeah, they're going to be there. But this year, when I found out Peavy wasn't going, I talked to Soho. One of the co-founders of the Senate DJs, and said, "Hey, look, man, good news and bad news. Peavy's not in, and what's going on?" He's like, "Look, Peavy's not in." He goes, "Come with me. You can come hang out, do your thing at the Reloop booth, and hang out with the Senate DJs this year. Represent our brand, represent Reloop." So, I was like, interesting. And the good thing about that is, instead of staying in a cramped, smoky, stained hotel there that PV usually takes up for, thank you guys, but instead of staying there, we actually have a beach house that we're going to have this year, which is really, really cool, because some nights, instead of just going out, they have a barbecue there. All the DJs get together, they have a nice little setup, and some of the best DJs, not just on the East Coast but in the nation, they have out and come over there and spinning. I mean, Grandmaster Theodore was there. DJ Angelo was there. We had Qbert there. We had Z-Trip there. Unreal what happened last year. And that was just on one night.
That's cool.
But yeah, that's going to be fun. And look, there are certain, like I told you, and I told you secretly, there are certain, people that we're looking for professionals to help us with. So hopefully I can get your butt down there.
Yeah. Man, you know me, man.
I'm gonna keep grinding. We're gonna find a way to officially get you there where it's paid for, or at least 90% of it maybe is paid for. DJ Angelo, of course I know DJ Angelo. You know what? I'm gonna put him. He's gonna be in the next video. There's gonna be a picture of me, him, Qbert, Z-Trip, Soho, at the NAMM party. They had Reloop. They're all from Germany. They had rented a special room for their equipment at NAMM, and it was a first floor party room in LA, where they showed off their stuff, and these guys came out, and we were partying, and there was just like a group picture of all of us.
Yeah.
There's something you don't see every day. It was me with all these nuts.
That's awesome, man.
It was a fun time. It's all about the networking, and that's why I want you to go, Dave. I want you to meet these people that I had been graciously introduced to that I probably never would have, except for the cool people that I network with.
Right.
Thanks to them. And that's why I go to places like that, like the Expo or DJ Con or whatever. And that's why, hopefully we can get you out there and we can, bring you in. But yeah, we're going to be there with Reloop. But normally with Reloop, some of the companies that follow them, Glowtronics, we've spoken about them. Before they make the masks, they make the covers for your slip mats. They make your tapestries. InnoFader and Infinity Faders are also going to be out there. 2 competing fader companies, but both in the one. Newmark has promised that they're going to be out there. Pioneer DJ is going to be out there. And I don't know. We heard from Name. I think Name's going to be out there. We did talk about Techniques. And do you remember a company called DJ Tech?
Of course.
Yeah. And now, what I thought they were not, they were no more, but they are obviously still making product.
Okay.
I thought, now when I went down there and I saw them a couple years ago, I thought they were Hasidic Jews. Was I not mistaken? The guys that ran that company?
You're going above my head now. I've heard of them, and then it stops.
Curly Qs, and they have it. No, but that's really, they really do. They had little curly Qs and the hats or whatever. But they were there the one year, and I could have sworn, the one guy was Israeli because he was talking Israeli. But regardless, they're going to make a showing this year again, and they haven't been there in the past 3 years. Now, mind you, some people think that their gear may be subpar, but you pay. What's the word? I want to be very, very selective in how I say it. A very cost-effective controller that will do the job. And it's not cheaply made, but it's also PV stuff is a tank. You can take it, you could drop it down a flight of stairs, and the damn thing will work. Whereas I don't necessarily know if you're going to drop your Technical Pro, mixer, or you drop that down. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to last, just because of the way it's made and the quality. But look, they're going to be out there with their stuff. And all the regular guys. What is it? Event Planner's going to be out there. DJ Intelligence going to be out there. eWebMin's going to be out there. Chauvet DJ is going to be out there. American DJ is going to be out there. So,
what up, Matt?
How are you there, Mr. Matt? Good to see you, sir. So, a lot of these companies are coming, and they're going to take advantage of the expo. So, here's what I hope. I'm hoping that I can't get from the Senate guys and from the Soho. Maybe I'm not promising anything. Maybe some passes to give away on the show.
Oh, there you go.
That might be a cool thing. Maybe we can, and I'm not talking just like the passes that you can get up to June 14th. Now you can register on that link up to June 14th. If you're any later than June 14th, I think you're paying $75. Yeah, that's the fee. Yeah. After June 14th, it's $50. On site, it's $85. So there you go. And there's people coming to me constantly. Hey, can I get to the DJ Expo? You can sign up now for free. Do it now. You don't have to use the tickets. They'll give you an Eventbrite for your phone. So regardless, you're at least signed up.
There you go.
And if not, who knows? Maybe we'll have some free passes that are, floor only passes, or we'll have some full expo passes that get you into all the seminars and the parties for free. I think it's usually like a $200 pass there. All right.
Free's a good price, man.
Free's good for me. Yeah, I like free. I like free. Anything you want to add to that?
No, I mean, it's been a while since I've been out there, and it's usually a really good show, though. And like you said, the networking is really what it's all about. And it gives you a great opportunity to rub elbows with people that you might only see, through podcast or different stuff that you pay attention to on social media. And, for a couple of days, it's kind of like everybody is all kind of equal. You know what I mean? Like we're all there together hanging out. And, there's I don't want to say cliques, but there's a few groups of people that hang out and do their thing. But for the most part, you have an opportunity to run into, whoever's there, you have an opportunity to run into those people.
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely. And look, most all of these DJs, guys, gals, they have a great heart. They're great people. Yeah. They're not like the DJs that I ran into in the late 90s where they had these big egos. They didn't want to talk to you because you're going to be stealing their business, whatever.
Yeah.
But look, that said, the expo is usually divided up into two halves. There's those that are, and I hate to say this, the wedding DJ, remember Wedding DJ Hero, sponsored by Samsung. So your
I love that.
Your wedding DJs.
Braden, what's up, man?
What's up, Braden? Your wedding DJs that are in this for, geez, how do I put it? How's my wife put it? All the corny dances, the cha-cha slide, the hokey pokey, to this, to that. We're out there, blah, 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 doing whatever, entertaining the people. That's our job. That's what we do. We put on that hat. But then there are the guys like, and I've named them Qbert, Z-Trip, DJ Angelo, right there. 3 of them, top DJs, but you'll never see them at a wedding. You'll never see them doing what we're doing. And if you do, you're going to see them teamed with me, you, or another top guy at weddings, because their thing is not what we do.
Right.
I never claimed to be the best damn mixer next to these guys. Can I mix? Sure, I can beat mix. Can I scratch? Sure, I can. I'm not fabulous. I know the basics. Right. They are fabulous. But you put a mic in my hand and you put me in charge of a crowd, I'll have them drinking the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
See, you didn't laugh at that. I don't know how you're not as old as I thought you were.
No, I got it. I got it, man.
Did? Okay. It's my reference to Jim Jones and everybody drank the Kool-Aid and
Yep.
But really, the sheep.
You got to call it White Claw now, by the way.
What do they call? Oh, White Claw. Okay.
Yeah, you got to call it White Claw now.
Here in Philly, we either call it Thunderbird or Mad Dog.
Oh, there you go. Oh, a little Mad Dog, huh?
MD 2020.
Don't get me started on some stories about that.
Well, they used to have grape when I was growing up. Now they have a couple different flavors. Now
I know. I remember when it was only where you could basically only get grape or like this passion fruit, strawberry, banana type shit.
Yeah.
And now you can get like 15 different flavors of Mad Dog 2020. Not saying that I drink it a lot. I'm just saying like I have seen it at the store. I browsed by.
When I was younger, I drank it a lot. It was either that. It depends on who I hung out with. If I hung out with my Christian or Goyim friends, as we would say, we were drinking MD 2020. But when I was hanging out with my Jewish buddies, we were all over the Monteshevitz. So, but one was more tangier than the other. It was whatever does the trick and is fun. But
I used to think Mad Dog 2020 was the grape juice they gave you at church. I didn't realize it wasn't for a while there. And then.
It's funny. There's a special type of wine that they use at the church. Matter of fact, I don't know if it comes from the Vatican, but it's funny you say that.
No. What about I'm totally off subject here for a second, but since tonight's show is just for fun, what about you ever have Hunch Punch before? I don't know if they might call it something different up there.
Spoddy? Grain alcohol. We would
yes. So the grain alcohol and then the fruits, and then you let it ferment for a while.
Spoddy.
So we call it Hunch Punch, but
jungle juice.
Yeah, jungle juice. I just feel like that might in 2021 I might offend somebody, so I don't want to use that term. But
it's funny. We would party at the Kappa House, and that was a black fraternity, and besides having the best weed on campus, at Bloomsburg, they would have this big, clear, looked like a trash can looking thing, but it had a spout on the bottom of it.
Yep.
And they would sit there and there would be oranges just sliced in half, squeezed a little bit, all types of fruit. They would chop up kiwi, you name it, any type of cool fruit that was, I guess, succulent that you could get some juice out of. They threw it in there with grain alcohol. Grain alcohol, not Everclear, grain alcohol. And it had to sit. I think they said it had to sit for over 24 hours with the ice, because then it would, ferment and you'd shake it up and whatever. But once you drank it, then you'd eat the fruit.
Oh, the fruit's even worse though.
Oh,
the fruit's even not in a bad way, in a bad way.
Oh no,
right?
Oh no.
But you brought up Raymar a while earlier on. So quick story about Raymar, and this will all circle and tie together. Me and a couple other guys along with Raymar went on this baseball stadium tour, and it was in 2008, and we started in Philly, and we had this wild idea to get ourselves some Hunch Punch put together, right? Well, what we didn't know is that you couldn't buy alcohol in Philly. It wasn't available, or you couldn't buy what we were looking for, actually. Right?
Yeah, state stores in Philly were weird back then.
Yeah, exactly. So we had to go to. They said, "Oh, just go across to Jersey and get it."
Yes.
We end up not knowing what we were getting ourselves into. We end up in Camden, New Jersey, casually hanging out in Camden, New Jersey. Whatever.
It's all right, depending upon who you are.
Well, we went to this little corner store, and immediately we were it was like weird. Like we were frisked to find out if we were not cops, which so weird. It'll be like the other way around, right?
Right.
And once they realized that we weren't cops, they let us buy what we needed or whatever. Well, then we were like, okay, we rented this van. What are we going to put this in? So we tried to find a container like you were talking about, but the only thing we could find was a 5-gallon dog food container. So we bought this 5-gallon dog food container and put it in the center console of this van and drove around for like 5 days, which obviously was clearly very stupid to do this looking back on it now. But this 5-gallon thing of Hunch Punch that we were driving around for 5 days. And it was so funny because there was like 6 of us on this trip, and at least half of them didn't even know what it was. And I would not allow anybody to drink it for the first day. I said, don't drink it now because it'll just be like Kool-Aid and forget about. See, this is how I'm tying it to your Kool-Aid thing.
Right.
But wait till tomorrow. And then we'll have this. And so the noobs that hadn't had it before, they make the rookie mistake of taking the old cup and dunking it in. Oh, this is great.
Oh,
and about 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes later, done for the day.
Yeah.
It hit them like a ton of bricks.
Oh my God. And they down their first one thinking, hey, this is light. I don't taste anything. I don't feel anything, right?
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, down they go.
But Raymar was a trooper on that trip, man. We had so much fun with him on that trip.
Wow.
Yeah.
Millie, Zaz won. Hey Zaz, we got to get you on a show here. I've been following your journeys here. I was visiting DJ Too Tough last week, hooking him up, and he was showing me a lot of your stuff. So we
by the way, when you I hate calling people out on air, but
yeah, whatever.
I'm gonna do it anyways. When you see Too Tough again, let him know that I emailed him some stuff that I still haven't heard back from him on.
Oh, hey, you want me to? Well, I could take it right to him. I visit him once in a while. If it's that important, you got to tell me. He's the kind of guy you got to shake the tree a little bit.
I got you. No, I'll tell you after. I'll tell you after the show. It's not a big deal.
No worries. We're trying to hook this guy up. He's got a Tascam, an 8-track recorder. He's got all the Tough Crew. God, he's probably got 20 to 30 tapes that are all these 8-track cassette tapes. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Tracks on a cassette that you need
Right.
the Tascam 488. Now he just sent the thing out to get it modded because the Tascam 488, you have 8 tracks, it only comes out stereo, which is 2 mono tracks.
Right.
He wants the vocals, he wants the drum, he wants 8 different tracks. So that being said, sent it out, got the thing modded. Now the Tascam 488 can send out 8 tracks, and he can digitally take each 8 of those tracks. So
nice.
Yeah, the next step is taking all that and doing it. Now, I was going to tell him, I said, look, the easiest way to do it is just go through each of those 8 channels, turn up channel 1, record it, turn it down, turn up channel 2, record it, channel 3, that was my way out.
Yeah.
No, he took the more expensive way out and bought the 8-track mod.
Hey, if you got money, spend it. You might not be able to take it with you.
Yeah, this is true. But look, all that said, let's touch on the last thing. I know we got a few minutes here.
Yeah, we got about a minute and a half to wrap this sucker up.
Oh, we got a minute and a half then?
Yeah.
If it's only a minute and a half. Oh, I'm looking at the top, but we start 5 minutes early.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. We'll
Doesn't
keep it
matter.
up. All right. Look, I just wanted to tell some people before I went out and I did my gig. It was all about updating. And I was going to say, do you update your stuff? Do you not update your stuff? And Serato was not playing nice. And Serato was not playing nice because I had a beta version on because of the phase, and I needed to use a controller. So I had to roll this thing back. Not only did I roll it back to what I thought was the most stable version, which was the one before the beta, it didn't work. It wouldn't load up. I figured it was because I had my hard drive and my controller plugged in and it was sitting there spinning. That's what I took it as. So that's how I turned it on. Then I put the controller in. Then I put in the hard drive, and hopefully that'll fix the problem. But I had to roll back probably, I don't know, I think I went back 7 different releases before my wedding, and I played for about, and I had to make sure I played for about 4 hours so the thing wouldn't give me issues, because really what it started to do, it sounded like it was almost underwater, almost like it was like I don't know, feedback in the music, and then all of a sudden it would just stop. And what I mean by stop, it would freeze with the waveforms in it. Now, the other thing I was telling you about really quick was if I picked the wrong song, which means OP, one of the guys from Serato, told me it's a song with bad file. It's a bad file.
Yeah, like a corruption in it or something. Yeah.
File. Thank you. And Serato notices because there's a lightning bolt all the way to the far left. And if you try to drag that in to Serato while you're playing and it's a live gig, it will shut down on you with nothing said. It'll just go off. And then when you try and double click to restart Serato, guess what happens? It won't start. You have to reboot your whole system and then start Serato. And remember not to put that song in or to get rid of that song.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Braden, it happens with the corrupt files. Now, Virtual DJ, I've run into the fact that it usually comes up with a big red X, and it'll tell you, I think there's a way to debug the program. It'll tell you what's going on and what caused it. It's just a little bit better troubleshooting than Serato. So with that said, just be careful updating your stuff, boys and girls.
Yeah, I think sometimes we get excited and oh, it's new, I got to get it. And sometimes just the old adage, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, is the best way to be, know? Because I've done the same thing, I updated the software one time, and only because it kept telling me to do it. And normally I would say no, and then I probably wasn't even paying attention. And I just clicked on yes by accident instead of no. I was only half-ass paying attention or whatever. And then the next thing you know, I was having this situation where the audio would just completely drop out and then come right back in, and then drop out and come back in. And, shit, I don't even know what that meant. But apparently it was a latency issue. So apparently whenever there was an update, I had to go into the software and change the latency value, and then it fixed everything. As soon as somebody told me that, and I was like, all right, let me try it. It fixed everything. But that panic and that sweat and that, holy shit, these people are going to think I'm the worst DJ in the world, starts setting in. So best advice, don't update your shit right before you go to an event. And better advice, don't update your shit on the day of your event. And best advice, don't update your shit if you're already at the event and set up and your equipment works. Just roll with it until the night's over.
Or a little bit of advice if you update your shit. If you do, have something like you can get on Amazon, a little Bluetooth receiver. You can plug it into one of your channels. Literally, you can play it from your phone if you need to, and have something ready to go. My PV mixer has a USB stick. I stick right into it. There's one channel ready to go. I have now created a 4-hour set. Fast music, slow music, fast music, slow music. God forbid anything ever happen. 4 hours of dance music. All of the stuff. All of it. And it's sitting there paused, waiting for that to happen. Because if that happens to me on a show, I'm just going to hit bang. I'm going to hit unpause, and I'm not going to stand there like, oh my God, what do I do? Because I got to shut down. I got to reboot my system.
Yeah.
I don't want to be that guy. So I'm just going to hit pause. Then I'll shut down and reboot my system. But you know that happens when you hear Dancing Queen by ABBA.
Right.
Because
you hear that off song that you're like, I haven't played this forever. Or the people on the dance floor are like, I haven't heard that forever. And you're like, yeah, it's because I'm flipping my laptop. Just get back on the dance floor, drink another beer, and shut your pie hole. You know what? It's something that used to bring everybody out there 5 to 8 years ago, that right now it's just like, I don't know. But, or Brick House or something, just an oldie that you think or maybe should work. But depending upon my crowd, I didn't know whether to put like a Brick House in there or an Uptown Funk, and I don't want to step on my own toes. Doesn't seem like you can go wrong with Bruno Mars stuff, man. So that's always an option. He's in there. He's in there. I had to make that. I made it for last week just to have it, and it's funny because one of my videographers was there, and he was looking at it. He goes, "What's that say help for?" I said, "That's because if anything happens, help." I also have one that's cocktail music. I just plug it in and play it while I'm setting up. It takes me seconds, and it looks like I'm already set up, but not really. So, yeah, people always laugh at when they look at my laptop and they see my oh shit folder, and they always, they always say, "What is that all about?" I'm like, "Well, I use an external hard drive with my music, so that oh shit folder is in case that external hard drive craps out on me. I got enough music in that oh shit folder to get through the night."
Okay, that's funny. Here, I have to leave you with this. All right, that you said, "Oh shit." And speaking of that, our sponsors are going to get upset. No,
They'll get over it.
they'll get over. Every car has it's that handle on the
Mhm.
side, right?
Yeah.
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 In our family, it's called the ocean handle. You know why it's called the ocean handle? My daughter was 3 years old. Her grandmother is in the car, and she looks up, and she's older, and she's like, she wants to get in the car. She grabs onto the oh shit handle, and she says, "Where's your oh shit handle?" And she said it. The kids in the back in the car seat. And the funny thing was, we didn't say anything or whatever, and we get out of the car, we go wherever we go, we come back in, and then Miley says, "Hey, Dad," he goes, "You have an ocean handle?" And I'm like, ocean handle. What does she mean by ocean? And then it hit me, and it was like the funniest. It was the funniest thing for the
Yeah.
long time. Now I said, "Oh, that's the ocean handle in my car. It's
Love
not
it.
the handle; it's the ocean handle." So, yeah,
Kids bring like the coolest things to life. You know what I mean? In their innocence and in their, just not knowing yet.
yeah.
I love it.
No,
I love it.
It was the cutest. It was one of the cutest things, that we'll always remember.
Yeah.
The
Awesome.
we were in Florida, and we were waiting, for to get into the thing. I said, "Oh no!" I said, "We better get seated quick." I said, "Because here comes the large party," and she was all like freaked out. She goes, "Oh my god, the large party!" She was freaked out. So we would always tease her, like, "Be careful, the large party's coming."
Nice.
So that's
It's been fun, man. I can't believe we were able to chop it up an hour talking about all kinds of stuff.
Look, you know why we did this? Because when we had our meeting before the second season, we laid out some rules and things that worked perfectly, and all of that, with what we both went together, I think that made it work. Whether we have a guest, whether we don't have a guest, whether it's two of us, one of us, or three of us, whether it's eight of us,
Sure.
and it's three things that are close to your heart that you want to talk about and shoot the shit about, and you roll with it.
That's it. It was like the Family Feud last week. So yeah, no, absolutely. Oh, not Family Feud, the Brady Bunch. Sorry.
The Brady Bunch. Yeah, that was with all those guys. Yeah, and you know what? While we were there, thank Dogs in a Pile, the band Dogs in a Pile, for coming on. There were some really, really cool guys. So hopefully next week.
I've been vibing out to their music, by the way. I grabbed that on Apple Music. Their album just came out.
They were not joking when they said like Grateful Dead and Fish were their influences. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness gracious.
Yeah.
How cool. Yeah. Now they got some really cool stuff. So yeah, really, really, really cool guys. Really nice music. So I get it. All right, man. You want to send us out, brother?
Yeah, man. Thank y'all for watching. Appreciate y'all always being here and supporting us. It means a lot to us that you have. Let's see. Braden just asked a question. Have you thought about having past guests come on and tell stories from events they have done? Braden, we'd love to do that. You never know. By the way, next time we do a show like this, if any of you guys want to come on and join us,
right,
tell us early in the show, and we can send you the link for the show, and you can, we can send it to you live while we're on the show.
I like
and
that.
You can just jump on with us. Yeah.
So we can have you as a last minute guest, like Millie, Andrew, whomever, anyone.
Yeah. All we got to do is send you the link to jump on, and we'll get you on with us. I mean, as long as you're not mic shy or mic shy or camera shy, come on and join us.
Yeah, no, what a great idea, man. Great idea. Thank you. That's great.
All right. With that being said, though, thank you all for joining us for another week of In the Cue podcast. Don't forget to catch us on all your social media channels, all of your podcast channels, and all your just all around music channels. We thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week on In the Cue podcast.